So this is the part two of the jail story. So jail testimony. So long story short, I hate when people say that and then they just continue on and on. But so like at the jail, they give you your dinner, right? And like they would use like like this canned beef stuff, and it's like canned beef, like it's just like a silver can of beef, processed beef, whatever. I don't know what it is, but the way it looked, I refused to eat it. And then they would serve it every dinner, every lunch, and every dinner. And this one guy, whenever I got out of here, this one guy was like, "Oh, we call that alligator meat or something like that." Like they make fun of it or whatever. Like, "Oh, we call that alligator meat," and I was like, "Ew!" Like, what the frick? Like, it literally looks like it's like grown. Like, it looks like it's like I don't know. It's just like it's I don't know. So I refused to eat it. I couldn't eat it, and I couldn't eat it. I gave it away. I never even as hungry as I was, I never ate it. On right hand on the Bible, I never ate it. And so, mind you, and then so like at nighttime they give you like a plastic or a paper bag with like an apple in it, and either an apple or orange. And I can't remember something else, but you know, nothing big, nothing, So then, I would just eat it, lay down, go to bed, wake up. Breakfast would be on a tray, like these cakes, these dry cakes. Oh my gosh. Like, it's like a dry ass, sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, a dry cake, and then like a dry biscuit cake, and then some dry cereal, and then like a little thing of milk. And I would just like I would go to sleep hungry, starving. I would be crying and just starving and crying. And then I'd fall asleep. Then I'd wake up. I'm like, please let it be something good, please. They would bring that tray, set it down, and I'd like go get it. I would just take it to like the little desk in there, and I would just sit down and I would just cry. And I was like, this is so unreal. And then like, mind you, I'm going through so much. Like, first of all, if you don't even know about fasting, you don't even know about warfare. And that's why a lot of people refuse to do it, is because the more that you starve this human flesh vessel, it says our flesh, this stuff, this flesh here is an enemy against Jesus. You know, so if you don't know about the spiritual side of like fasting, it's a very, very spiritual. The veil is so thin. You could hear things, see things clear, But I'm telling you, at the time I didn't know about fasting. I didn't know how to pray. Um, I, it was just a really sad experience. That's all I'm gonna say. So, mind you, 21 days comes and goes. um, anyway, I'm not even gonna bash. I don't even care to bash anybody no more. Like, so long story short, the 21 days comes and goes. On the 21st day, I go to court, get a PR bond. They're like, you need to go straight to your probation officer. Right after you get out of here, get dressed, and you need to go over there. It's like, okay. So I get out, I go over there, I hit the courthouse building, I turn on my iPhone, and all these weird messages of like, oh, like you're evil, you're a witch, and you're this and that, and I'm like, what the frick are you talking about? So I'm like messaging everybody back, not everybody, just this one person, but he was saying that I wasn't in jail, because I called him, I got a hold of him right before I went into jail, him and my supposed friend. I called her and I called him and I said, I'm going to jail, like, try to email me or put money on my thing, I don't have nobody. And anyway, he was like, yeah, you're not in jail. He was accusing me of all kinds of stuff, and he was saying that I was out and about, like, That wasn't even the worst part. So I wrote him back. I said, I just got out of jail. Like, I just got out of jail. Literally, where you at? Where you at? I could come to you. And this whole time he's trying to plot on me, like, because of what was happening in that. Like, I feel like fasting without no spiritual protection, it's crazy how I even made it out of there. I don't even know. And I tell you the truth, like 120 pounds come out of the county jail 140 pounds with a 4-month-old child in my stomach. And I look pale, and like around here was just like dark brown, and like I looked like pale and stuff. And I'm like, what the freak? Like, I don't know. And like my waist, like I didn't even, all this muffin top and stuff, I didn't have none of that. There was nothing. And um, so I go to the probation officer, bro. He was like, this and this and this and this, and then this and this and this and this. And mind you, it was like literally like, you know how Martin Luther King said, this when the slaves were freed, they didn't have nothing, they didn't have nobody, they didn't have nowhere to go, they didn't have no money to build a house, they didn't have nothing, you know, like they had to pull themselves up from their bootstraps. Literally, that's what I felt like, oh, you know, UAs, when they call your color, you have to go bring $50 to $100 every UA, and sometimes you might UA 3 times a week, possibly. And I'm like, I mean, realistically, I was like thinking like, holy crap, like I just started crying. I just started crying because like what I went through in the jail, being pregnant. Oh my God. Being pregnant, right? And I'm not crying around about my past. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying like if you don't straighten up, this life will make you. That's what I would say. If you think that you're big and bad and you want to beat people and you want to beat people up and you're a big dog and you're this, that, and this and that, be careful. God has a funny way of moving his hand. So, so I asked my probation, I just started crying and I just felt so like emotional. And I was like, do I have the option to go back to where I came from? Because they picked me up on a prison bus and shipped me to like 3 hours the other way to the county where I caught the charge in. And he's like, yeah, but that would tell me that you don't want to take accountability for your or take responsibility for your actions. And I'm like, what the heck? I mean, like, and then I think about it and I'm like, had I just did it, but then I think I let fear talk to me more than I think I listened to the fear that time more than I allowed my faith, you know, because my fear was like, how the hell, how am I gonna do it? How am I gonna do it? You know, and I was like, they have a place called the Mission, or like the Union Gospel Mission. And I was like, I guess I could go sleep there and like get up and go get a job. You know, I didn't have my kids at the time. You know, I could have did it. You know, I was alone, you know. But out there, I didn't feel safe. Like, there's just something out there. Like, I feel like when, you know, anyway, it's just, it is what it is. But like, this situation right here that I'm talking about really, like, it was like the turning of my wickedness, you know, like it made me, I did come back home or to the town where I came back to or whatever. And I continued my probation and everything like that. And it was an easy, you know, well, I had to stay working. I had to check in with him. I had to, you know, do all these things. But I took that wisdom, like that I took that spanking as wisdom, you know, and I took all of that whole punishment. I took it as, okay, never mind. I don't want nothing to do with this no more, you know. And I believe that was the beginning of my sobriety, my journey to staying clean and staying sober, not talking to nobody, not texting nobody, you know. The guy that I had to stay with for a little bit to wait with him until my mom could come up and pick me up and take me home. Um, his uncle said that a lot of people that are in the halfway house, they beg him for money to pay for their UAs and stuff. Otherwise, you get a violation and they put you back in jail. And, it's just like it's like a whole system. Like, you're required to do this and this and this. And I understand like the whole thing, but like, and if you, like, you have to be breaking the devil's stronghold of addiction, of naming the addiction over your life, bro. Like, take control of that back. Oh my gosh. So, yeah.